believe it or not, I am, oh, this is the wrong one. All right. Yeah, that was the solutions. All right. Uh-oh. Okay. Yes, I do, buddy.
He's big brain time.
Here we go. So, now, again, listen, believe it or not, my geometry class next week is learning this same exact thing. All right? The same exact thing. That's why I'm telling you it's so important right now. All right? Proportions is on all standardized tests very heavily. And this one is particularly hard because sometimes the triangles are twisted around. All right, I'm going to try to show you what that means. All right, so you got to really pay attention because when you take a test, you can easily miss a whole bunch of them if you're not careful with the figure itself. All right, so bear with me. All right, so now let's take a look at question number 1. I am fully aware that some of you guys can kind of see things. All right, but if I want 100 on the test, I'm going to make sure I write down the proportion carefully and correctly. All right, so now let's talk about this. First and foremost, did I tell you guys what this mark stands for? Yes. All right, now what I want you to do is, I'm going to come over here. This angle right here, why is that one mark there?
To show that on the bottom triangle, that it's the same angle as the one on the top triangle.
In other words, this angle right here is the same as that angle over there. All right. Now, this angle right here is congruent to what? This angle right here. All right. Now, we're going to do a geometry unit in the future, all right, that will explain to you exactly why this angle right here is congruent to this angle right here. So remember from last year, maybe you guys talked about vertical angles. You guys remember vertical angles? Anytime you draw an X, anytime you make an X, the angles directly across from each other are always what? Are always the same, and they're called vertical. All right, those are vertical angles. Now remember, try to keep your mouth quiet and listen carefully to what I'm saying. I'm giving you great information. If you don't understand something, now it's time to speak up. All right? Like I said, my geometry kids are doing the same thing you're doing. All right, next week. All right, we have a whole chapter in geometry called triangle similarity. All right? So we know these triangles are similar. All right, so now what I need to demonstrate to everybody is that 189 corresponds to what? Harrison. Exactly. Now I'm going to tell you how I know that. All right? 189 is between one tick mark, this is what we call them, one tick mark and what? Two tick marks. So you have to double check. 189 corresponds to 45. And again, the reason that's true is because 45 is the segment that's in between one tick mark and two tick marks. Everybody agree with that? All right? Now, this was considered the large, and this was considered the what? Small. Equals. Now, in the large triangle, what are we trying to find? X. So that goes on the top because it's the what? The large. Now, what does X correspond to? Now, X corresponds to 36, not because that's the only other number there. That's not the reason. All right, it corresponds to that for this reason. X is between two tick marks and no tick mark. Do I agree with that? So here is two tick marks and no tick mark. So it had to be with that. What? Then it wouldn't be a proportion. You couldn't do the problem. All right? You couldn't do the problem. That's why I'm trying to say, some of you are smart enough said, well, it has to be 36 because there's no number on the other side. All right, well, on the test, I'm going to put a number on this side to see if I can mess you up. I'll put like 27 there. Shh. Just listen. If 27 is there, do you use the 27? No, you don't. All right? Now, a lot of people put X and 27 together. All right? It's not X doesn't go with 27 because it's on the same side. What? Now, ask me a good question.
So, is X always on the right side?
No. I will never say always in math. All right? There's always exceptions to every single rule.
27 is by the 45 there. Would it go with
Well, we're going to look how many problems we have. I'm going to cover all of your what ifs. I promise you. You have to trust me. You hear me? What I'm asking you to do right now is I'm asking you to understand why that's the proportion. Do you understand why that's the proportion? Do you agree or not? You can say no.
Yes, but I don't think it's 27.
The 27 is a number I made up.
Where would it go with?
It would go with this side over here. It would go with this side. These two go together. X has to go with what? 36.
Oh, it's about the same side.
That's same side. That is correct. Now you understand what I'm saying. Now, I'm going to try to say it one more time, even though, listen, make sure you're hearing me, right? And again, some people kind of shy away when I'm telling them, listen, listen, listen. You're missing something. All right? Keep speaking up if you don't know something, just like she did. All right? So now I'm going to clarify just to make sure we're correct. I want you to say X corresponds to this side. Do you agree? That side is between, and just for now, I'm going to make this 3 tick marks and this down here 3 tick marks so we can talk about it. You hear me? So X is between 2 and 3. Angle 2 and 3. Do you agree with that? So then X has to go with the side that's between 2 and 3. And now do you see that the X corresponds to the 36? Right? So I was saying, if on the test, I'm going to put 27 right here to try to trick you into saying X over 27. X doesn't correspond to 27. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right. That's all I was trying to show you. Because 27 would correspond to this side over here. What?
I do not understand how this is
You can write 189 over X. That then would be equal to 45 over 36. You can write that. Remember, we talked about this yesterday also. There's lots of proportions that will give you the what? Same answer. You can see it a little bit different, right? In this case, we went large to small. In this case, we went from the top to the side. Does everybody agree with what I'm saying there? Do you get the same answer? Check it and see. Let's go. I would rather you answer your own questions. All right? We wrote it twice, so everybody cross multiply. 189 times 36 divided by 45. So how big is that side? How much?
151.2 degrees.
Anybody else get that? So 151.2 yards. All right? Now, what I want everybody to do is to do the other one. 189 times 36 still divided by 45. Still the same answer, right? So what I'm trying to make sure you're hearing me is that this right here, doesn't matter how you set it up. You're always going to get the right answer if you set it up properly. If you didn't set it up properly, you're going to get the wrong answer. Harrison. All right. Now, all right, I want everybody to look at number 2. They're trying to throw you off here by putting some extra stuff in there. All right? Now, I want everybody to read this. What does this say right here, guys? Right, triangle CDE. What does this say right here?
Triangle GDF.
Right, triangle GDF. Now, who's brave? Who can tell me what this symbol means, probably? What does that symbol mean? Tell me. Similar, exactly. Compared, that's kind of the same. You with me? But we're talking about what? Similar, right? Similar triangles. Remember, similar triangles are exactly the same. They're just smaller or what? Bigger. All right? That's all it is. All right? Now, they're trying to confuse you here. All right? I'm trying to find CE, so I'm going to mark CE. This is my unknown, X. Now, what I want you to do on your picture, you have to do this on your picture for me. You have to mark this equal to this. Who remembers what I said? What are those called? Harrison. What type of angles did I call those? Vertical angles. And vertical angles are always what? Always congruent. So as long as we have two angles congruent, then the triangles are automatically what? Similar. All right? Now, I want someone to tell me here, from this right here, CD, underline CD, what does CD correspond to? What does CD correspond to, James? That is correct. You're learning how to read a similarity statement. You're learning how to read a similarity statement. What does DE correspond to? Elise? DF, that is correct. What angle, Eric, is congruent to angle C? Angle what? Look right here, buddy. Yes, G, that is correct. Angle G. Eric, what's congruent to angle E? Yes. Is everybody following me? Right? That's what this similarity statement tells you. It tells you what angle corresponds to what angle and what side corresponds to what side. Very good? So now, I want to make a fraction. Everybody's going to make this fraction. I want you to make a fraction with this triangle. Maren, what can I make? Just tell me the fraction. All right, it doesn't matter. I'm listening. Loud and proud. It doesn't matter. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. 27 over x. Now, most of you hopefully can just look at the figure and kind of tell me what goes with what. What does 27 correspond to, Maren? Yes, it does. And x corresponds to what? Yes. Now, I don't want you to say, well, there was no other number there, so it had to be 36, right? We don't want to do that. Yes, you can tell. That's what you're trying to decide. Look, this CE, right, has the right angle. This one has the right angle, right? This is on the bottom of the triangle. This is on the bottom of the triangle. This is called the hypotenuse, for those of you guys who remember your geometry from last year. This is the hypotenuse. Those have to correspond. If you didn't know that, you could also get that information from what? The similarity statement. This up here is the similarity statement. Cross, multiply, divide. Somebody tell me. Does anybody agree with him?
Yes.
All right. 21.6, and of course we have to put the unit. 21.6 feet. Everybody happy with that? That's not bad, right? All right, let's check out number 3. All right. The triangles below are similar. All right. Chloe, why don't you help me? Why don't you set up the equation for me on number 3? But what am I trying to find, though, first? Yes. Right? So I need this. Do you agree? So how to set my equation up for me? I like what you did. 4.8 over 3.2 is equal to? Yes, you're amazing. X over 2.8. And now I want you to use your calculator to tell me what it is. 4.2. So we would say 4.2 miles. Now, what's the answer to the question, though? Yes, ma'am. Good job. Right? Because this is the thing that where kids make the mistake on. They don't answer the question. Right? Everybody see how that 7 is the correct answer? Because we're trying to figure out from Dora to Micala's. So that's what? Not X, but 7 miles. What? Well, how do you think of that 7? If this right here is 4.2, kiddo. Come on now. Don't give up on yourself. So, how much is it? Again, watch me. How much is it from here to here, kiddo? How much is it from here to here? How much? So, there you go. See? Easy. What?
How do you know where to put the X? And will you give us the X on the test?
No, I'm not giving you the X on. Stop worrying about the test. How did I know what I was looking for? Shh. Come on, kiddo. Listen to me and trust me. Hey, I want you to understand. Yes. Right? Listen, guys. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not giving you answers. All right? This is why it's hard. That's why you guys are in this class. You like to figure out problems. Right? It's no good for me to just tell you what to do every time. You got to figure it out. I wanted to figure out how much from Dora to Micala's house. So I highlighted it. And I knew I was missing this X part down here. Yes, sir. Sure. All right. Here we go. Number 4. Shh. Why are you talking? You're not. That's what you're supposed to be saying. I was hearing things. It wasn't you, right?
No.
Yeah, definitely wasn't you. All right. You're still talking, though. That's the problem. Harrison, read. No. We're going to sound it right. Triangle ABC is what? There you go. Perfect. Now, because they're similar, I want you to tell me what angles are congruent. Is congruent to what? Yes, because here's what you're telling me. B is congruent to B, which means those are the vertical angles. We talked about that. So what else do I know? What angle? E and C, beautiful. It almost looks like a right angle, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a right angle there, even though it may or may not be. What else is true? A and D. So now I'm going to mark that with 2 marks. That's what you guys are supposed to be doing. All right, now what am I trying to find? How far what? That's right, buddy. That's exactly right. So, Olivia, does that make sense now? All right. So here we go. So this is what I'm looking for. All right, set it up, Harrison. Wrong. Just kidding. That's right. Harrison, that's very good. See, don't be so nervous about it, man. You're doing awesome. Awesome. All right. Did everybody see that? Could you do it differently? And you're going to get what? Same answer if you set it up properly.
What I'm confused on is how you can just flip flop it. And you can send it to someone.
How can I? What does a flip flop mean? It's like something you wear. What are you talking about flip flopping? Oh my gosh. Here we go. So let me teach you something real quick here. Look up. Here's why you can, for no better term, flip flop. All right? Here's why you can flip flop. So here we go. 1/2 is the same as 2/4. You agree with that? Now watch me flip flop. So 2/1 is equal to 4/2. Is that still true? Yeah, that's still flip flop. It's still true. Now watch if I do this. If I write 2/1, notice I'm doing this over this. That's equal to what? Is that still true?
Yes.
Yes, it is still true. Are they the same numbers? No, but are they still equal? Yes, that's exactly right. That's why you can do that. There's no reason to be lost. You're at St. John. No, we're not a little. All right. Okay, what is the problem?
Okay, I do not get how 2/1 equals 2.
I didn't say 2/1 is equal to 1/2. Where is that on the board?
Oh, I thought you said that.
No, no. Do not put words in my mouth. Go.
And the picture. What?
Wait a minute now. I'm asking you, are you good with the flip-flops now? You're okay with that? All right. So now I'm looking back at the picture now. Go. What's the matter?
Line is 40.
Line 40, good for you, is between what two angles? Well, how about if you say 1 tick mark and 2 tick marks?
So then the X is AB.
Because it's between,
2 tick marks.
couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, nice, right? It really is that easy. I always tell kids you should always look at the similarity statement and just mark the angles congruent. Then it's easier to see what goes with what. You with me on that? Harrison, good job. What did you get? What's the answer? X equals how much? 60 yards. Anybody else get 60 yards? Good. Good. I think that's what it says. Soccer field to archery. All right, here we go with number 5. Really?
I'm coming.
All right, here we go. Let's go. Nathan, tell me.
I did 12 over 18.
Well, what am I finding?
How long is the road bridge?
All right, so now I'm assuming that they just mean this. Do you agree with me? It's kind of hard sometimes. On the test, I'll tell you exactly what that is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but it says the rope bridge. They didn't kind of. So would I mark it wrong? I wouldn't mark it wrong. All right, we can check the answer to see. But that to me is not indicating that it's a whole length. Do you agree? Okay, so set up the proportion.
12 over 18.
Good.
And then X over 49.
You're awesome. X over 49.5. So go ahead, someone. No, definitely not. You're not fast enough to be the first one done.
Wait, everybody 33.
Somebody said 33 what?
Feet.
Somebody said 33 feet.
Yeah, I got it right first.
Good. All right, let's try. All right. So, go ahead.
What's the distance between?
Right, so let's figure out from Terry Hill to Tom's. So this one's a little bit harder because we're looking for the whole thing, right? So you want to set up a proportion for me?
Sure. So 84 over 12. 84 over x.
Yes.
And 12 over 50.
Okay. Which one? Now again, and how you determine that is look at the 84. Is the 84 the large one or the small one?
Oh, 12 over. Oh no, 48 over 12.
Right. 48. Do you see that right?
Oh.
Now this one you should be able to look at. I would wish everybody would just say the one triangle is 4 times bigger than the other.
29.
Do I agree with that? It's just 4 times greater.
1
So that means x is how much?
1.
We should be able to just say, we should be able to say 21, right?
21 miles.
But then the whole answer, yes, thank you, 105 miles.
Because
Oh, wait,
84
no,
miles
I
are
know.
like,
Just kidding. That's funny.
wait.
Right, 105 miles. Baron, what?
Why is it a 25?
What are we trying to find?
So, it would be 80 or 84 times plus 21.
Try that on your calculator. That's on tape, by the way. You did 84 plus 21 with a calculator. Just saying, it's on video, so. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now, on number 7, here we go. Now, I wish what they would have done would they give you more space, all right?
I know.
So, again, I'm kind of sorry for that. I should have, so, again, guys, you make yourself some room, all right? I don't care where you put it. Make yourself some room. All right, a 6-foot observer casts a 4-foot shadow, all right? So here we are. And you cast a 4-foot shadow. All right? So this is 6 feet, and this is 4 feet. Everybody agree with me on that? At the same time, a chimney casts a 238-foot shadow. So is it going to be bigger or smaller? A lot bigger, right? Because the shadow of the chimney is how much?
238.
238 feet, and we want to know how big the chimney is. Do you agree? Does everybody agree with that? And so we can now just set up the proportion. I'm listening. What's the proportion? 6 over 4 is equal to x over 238. Cross multiply, divide. 357 feet. All right. Now, I feel like we did a pretty good job. I feel like you understand the explanations better. All right. I'm telling you guys, I understand it's tricky. That's why if you don't set it up yourself, if you don't make silly mistakes along the way, you're not going to be able to do it on the test. All right. Is everybody hearing me? All right. So I want you now, guys, to pick up. I want you to try 8, 9, 10, and then do the next page. 8, 9, 10, do the next page. And I will, again, you got the solutions last night, right? I'll post these solutions again. All right, I'll post the solutions. I want you to check your work. I want you to check your work. All right, get busy right now.
Mrs. Chow, do we have to draw a picture?